every fight.
Sandy into his windup. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed a perfect game.
High fly ball into right field. She is gone. In a year that has been so improbable, the impossible has happened. Fernando Valenzuela has pitched a no-hitter. It is gone. It is a walk-off home run for Justin Turner. It's over. Muncy, a walk-off home run. This is way back. Walk 'em off. Chris Taylor.
Give me some peanuts and crackers back. I don't care if I never get back.
It's time for Dodger baseball. Strike three. Dodgers have won it all in 2020. Mookie Betts cranks one left field. Mookie Betts.
They're going to make big signings. They're going to make impact trades. I don't care how many times this team rips my heart out, I'll never stop loving the Los Angeles Dodgers. Think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
And what's going on, Dodgers Nation? Welcome to another episode of Dodgers Dugout Live, #1 Dodgers live show on YouTube, on the #1 Dodgers YouTube channel. If you haven't yet, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, hit that like button. Welcome to another late night edition. I don't know how you guys are feeling these late night editions, but there's just too much news to not go at the very least twice live. So we're hitting it in the morning, we're hitting it at night, and really you look at everything that's developing after the Ohtani news and getting new contract details. We have Clayton Kershaw spoke to Dave Vassay of AM 570. We'll talk about some of the comments that he has and what they meant. So we have so much to get into, guys, so I just couldn't help myself. I had to go live because tomorrow is the day. 3 o'clock, Dodgers Stadium, Shohei Ohtani press conference. I will be there, so be sure to follow me on X at DMac_LA. Father Dodgers Nation 2 on Instagram and the X. We're going to be giving you full coverage from Dodgers Stadium. We'll be going live there too on site. So an exciting day tomorrow. It becomes official. We will see Shohei Ohtani. The photoshops are nice. Those jersey swaps are well done, but we get to see him in a real Dodgers uniform tomorrow. So that's going to be an exciting day for Dodgers fans everywhere. And you look at everything this Dodgers team has already accomplished. In the last 24 hours, they've already passed the New York Yankees when it comes to all over followers. They have more followers than the Yankees now on Instagram. If you look at what the Dodgers tweet out, the Shohei effect. Shohei Ohtani now holds Fanatics' all-time record for highest sales within the first 48 hours of a jersey release, passing Lionel Messi. So we're now talking about Ohtani as the all-time in jersey sales in the first 48 hours. I love the jersey. I want to buy one of the jerseys. I really do. But can I only pay for 3% now and pay the rest of the 97% deferred from 2034 to 2043? I'm just asking. I mean, that's what Shohei Ohtani allowed the Dodgers to do. Okay, you know, I'm just messing around. But, guys, I'm always looking for that comment of the show. If I see one of those, you're going to see one of these. Or maybe not. Fire takes. You're going to see one of these. And as always, I want all your takes on all this stuff. So really, let's kind of rewind a little bit to what happened yesterday. Let's start with the lead here, and that is what happened with the Tyler Glasnow trade. We had Bruce on early this morning, and he was the first to come out with the news that you were going to see John DeLuca, Ryan Pepiot involved. You had Manuel Margot and Tyler Glasnow. We have not gotten word on anything official. Now, the update, though, is from Jack Harris, and Jack Harris did provide update, Jack Harris of the LA Times, about a potential trade. And the good news is that this is real. This is substantial. This is not something made up. The Dodgers are in serious talks when it comes to Tyler Glasnow and acquiring a Manuel Margot. It's something real, and it just remains to be seen if a deal gets finalized. And Jack Harris tweet out, here's what we know about the Tyler Glasnow trade discussions on LA Times Sports. Nothing imminent per source. Still some moving parts to all this, but talks between the teams have been serious. Also, you'll find Brad Paley's name here again. So, yeah, basically nothing imminent, meaning nothing that's going to be announced in the short term right now. Maybe you don't want to upstage the Ohtani press conference tomorrow. Maybe you want to continue to make it about that, which it should, and maybe we see something on Friday and towards the weekend. I've been told that, yeah, this deal is something that most likely is going to get done. It's just a matter of, in my opinion, maybe they're looking to see, can you get Randy Arozarena involved? What would that entail? What kind of prospect capital would that take? I'm not saying that's likely at all, but if you're trying to ask questions about why a deal has gotten done, it definitely has to be that. Do they feel comfortable giving up 5 years of Ryan Pepiot for 1 year of Tyler Glasnow? Are they all in on this move to help fortify their rotation? Another thing, too, is what I've heard is that you have multiple teams that have jumped in. So never forget about those Atlanta Braves. The Atlanta Braves are a team that's looking to add starting pitching. There was rumors that they were involved with the Dylan Cease trade talks. You can never take the Bravos lightly, but I still think it's only a matter of time. I think ultimately a deal does get done for Tyler Glasnow. It just, there seems to be some conflicting reports as to the players that the Dodgers will be giving up, parting ways with. I think if you look at Ryan Pepiot, extremely solid. He showed what he was capable of when he returned from the injury last season. The command was tremendously improved. He does have some high fly ball to home run ratio issues, balls leaving the yard. Yes, a lot of solo shots, but kind of makes you wonder if you could be selling Ryan Pepiot on a high. Now, I still believe in Pep. You guys know. I mean, I'm all about Pepiot. There's so much Pepiot and Estepio. We know and understand that, but still, it'll be very interesting to see when this deal gets done, who are the players that are involved. So that's the latest on that. Another big news drop, nugget, breadcrumb, morsel that we got today was that, going back to the Yoshinobu Yamamoto meeting, Fabian Ardaya of The Athletic, he reported that when Yamamoto went to Dodger Stadium, you had Yamamoto in a Dodger uniform on Dodger Vision, which we saw yesterday. That proved to be accurate. Yamamoto, he walks into that pitch meeting, and who does he see? He sees Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, and hopefully his future catcher, Will Smith. Also, he followed Bobby Miller on Instagram. So you mean to tell me Ohtani is already full-blown in the recruiting pitches? He's already going all out on trying to acquire talent, because he already helped the Dodgers acquire talent by structuring the deal the way he did, by making 97% of that contract with deferrals, getting $2 million this year, allowing the Dodgers to have tons of cash flow to pay for a posting fee, to get a Yamamoto in the range of $25 to $30 million a year. But the fact that it wasn't a FaceTime, it wasn't a call, a text. He was there in person with the new big three in Mookie, Freddie, and Shohei Ohtani. What more can you say about Shohei at this point? This guy is doing everything in his power to get this franchise over the hump on a parade, a full 162-game World Series, on a legendary run potentially, and adding a Yamamoto would do absolutely just that. And my big question is, with Ohtani there, I was told Ohtani can't pitch this year. Clearly he was, and it was to Yoshinobu Yamamoto. And I'm sure he was pitching him on what they can do as an organization, what they can do as a potential super team that can win multiple World Series titles, and their teammates in the WBC. They won the WBC together. Maybe they'll look to win a World Series together. And it really makes you wonder, how could you say no to that? It's over, right? It's how could you, if you're Yoshinobu Yamamoto, you're young, 25 years of age, you reportedly grew up loving the Dodgers, how are you going to say no to Freddie, Mookie, Ohtani, and Will Smith? And just imagine that. You have never thrown one pitch at the big league level. You haven't thrown one pitch in the show, and you walk into a room and you have three future Hall of Famers pitching you on landing with the Los Angeles Dodgers. You can't say no to that if you're Yoshinobu Yamamoto. I mean, how would that sit with the rest of Japan, right? I mean, you know that the Dodgers want to be the team of Japan. You know the Dodgers are already ubiquitous at this point there. And do you really want, if you're Yoshinobu Yamamoto, to say, oh, I'm the guy who said no to Ohtani? Ohtani gets what he wants. He achieves his goals. And I think that Ohtani could look to this as another accomplishment, right? He doesn't want to look like he knows that he was out there, that he was in that meeting, in that pitch meeting, and he wants to know that he's got the Midas touch. And the fact that he was in there could lead to Yoshinobu Yamamoto signing with the Dodgers. Now, here we go. We got only person missing on that meeting was D-Mac. That's a fire tape Cardinals interactivity. By the way, hit that like button. We got to keep the vibes high. I mean, like button for Yamamoto, like button for Ohtani. Drop all those comments down below. I'm going to give you guys an entire session tonight where I'm just reading the comments, but there's so much news to get into and so many updates, and we're just going through it because I tried not to go live tonight, but there was just too much, and by tomorrow morning we can have all new stuff to dive into. But unfortunately, I think Yamamoto is going to the New York Yankees. I really don't think he wants to be overshadowed by Ohtani. That's from Broman74 Dude. Look, I mean, if you're on the Yankees, you got Aaron Judge, right? You got Juan Soto. And I understand what you're saying as far as another Japanese player. And look, I'm not saying that that point isn't valid, but it was also known that a couple of months ago, it was actually a month ago now, Will Salmon, he wrote about Yamamoto. Yamamoto is believed to have an open mind about the possibility of playing alongside another Japanese player. Now, is that other Japanese player Shohei Ohtani? That's a big difference. There's a big difference between when you're playing alongside Shohei Ohtani, who is Michael Jackson, Elvis Presley, the Beatles, Jordan, all rolled into one. But still, I think the fact that he's open to playing with another Japanese star, I think it is very telling. I think for me, the big question is how high do the New York Yankees and the Mets bid on him? Because at this point, I think it's safe to say either the Dodgers get him at around $25 to $30 million per year on a contract that's around $300 million, or the Yankees and Mets, they get into a bidding war, and you're looking at $325 to $350. So you're paying that amount for a player that a lot of the experts and the projections had him at around $250. So we could be looking at a 10-year deal with some opt-outs in between when he's around 30, so he could re-enter the market. So I think from that standpoint, it makes a ton of sense. And then, of course, if you look at the posting fee that you're going to have to owe the Oryx Buffaloes, it's going to be around $50 million. Over $46 million is going to be is $46.9 million will have to be paid out. So look, I mean, the Dodgers, you basically don't start those deferral payments for a while. You got the cash flow. It's not going to be a big issue. Just a matter of, okay, does this guy want to be a Dodger? Can you make it happen? Because if he wants to be a Dodger, financially, we can go as deep as you want into the topic. Financially, the Dodgers, they can absorb it. They can stomach this. That was why Ohtani decided to do what he did with his contract. So you could give yourself the ability to add talent like a Yamamoto. And the Dodgers, they need frontline starting pitching. They need a ace-level pitcher, and I think he's the perfect guy for this team. I think when you look at where this rotation is, you're going to bring in a Glasnow, who if he stays healthy, he's your surefire power ace. High velocity, filthy curveball, added that slider. If he's healthy, he's going to go out there and be that power guy. And Yamamoto, though, he's someone who no one knows what his ceiling is because he's never thrown one pitch at the MLB level. But when you look at his track record, all he's ever known is success. Just looking at some of his numbers here. He had a 1.82 ERA, a sub-1 whip in 7 seasons with the Oryx Buffaloes. Last year, he had his best season ERA-wise at 1.21. He's won the MVP there 3 seasons. That ties Ichiro. He is the only guy to have the Triple Crown in 3 years, the strikeouts, ERA, and wins. He threw back-to-back no-hitters in back-to-back seasons. I mean, just look at the yo-yo curveball. Look at the nasty stuff, the forkball. This guy, if it weren't for Shohei Ohtani, he'd be the talk of this offseason. He'd be the player that we'd be on pins and needles waiting to see if he was going to sign with this team. So I think Yoshinobu Yamamoto still absolutely deserves all the hype that he's getting, and I think it's a perfect situation for him. I see a super chat here. I don't want to miss those. We got 199. How high are you willing to go for Yamamoto? 350, 199. I mean, 350 is a ton. I mean, You're not going to see the crazy deferrals. Maybe if he is crazy, maybe he'll go, instead of 97% deferrals, go 98%. No, that's not going to be the case, right? But if it's 350 over 10, I mean, that's not going to happen. 35, okay? But you have to factor in that, let's say it's 30. Let's say he signs, let's just say, for example, he signs for $30 million per year on a 10-year deal. You're looking at a $300 million contract, right? But you cut that in half, right, to $150 million, and he opts out after that 5th year, then just imagine if you get him at that rate while you still have Mookie and Freddie in their primes. You still have Ohtani in his primes. It's about this next 5-year window. And if you have to give that big contract, I mean, yes, Ohtani is going to get every single penny of the $700 million on that deal, but it's really $460 million as far as present day value, right? So it's kind of how you look at these contracts and how they impact the CBT. So I look at how much of an albatross that contract will potentially be. Yeah, if he gets injured or he doesn't have success, for sure you're going to be stuck with him. But I think this is someone who, when you look at his age, when you look at his unique pitching style and just his nasty stuff, there's no doubt about it. He is at the very least going to be good. Only question is he going to be great? Is he going to be elite? Is he going to be a Hall of Famer? Right? That's the kind of stuff that this guy has in his bag. So $350 million. I think that might be a number a little too high for the Dodgers or after, but they've shown that they're not afraid to go big for the right players that they think it will get them over the top. And I think it also will be largely based on how confident they are that they could pull off a deal for a Cease, that they could have any interest in a Snell or a Montgomery, which I don't anticipate them having, really. I mean, it's possible, but I just don't think that they would pivot to that. And I think that you're probably already seeing momentum with those guys for other teams, even if it's not even being reported at this point, right? So, yeah, Yamamoto is the big pitching domino. He's filthy. And just the fact that Ohtani is this all in, like I said, this is a guy, all he knows individually is success. He gets what he wants. Wasn't supposed to pitch this year. He's out there pitching to Yoshinobu Yamamoto. But let's go down below in the comment section. Guggenheim Group, $300 billion in assets. If they want to pay Moto, then so be it. That's from Dre. Look, pitching is a premium. This team needs it. Don't kid yourself. If they don't fix this rotation, we're going to be happy about Ohtani, but it's going to be like we have the best offense ever, but we don't have a great defense in football, right? And you're trying to outscore teams and drop 50 points a game. No, that's not what wins, right? You need starting pitching. Scott L., come on now. I still don't want to trade Pepio. That's from John. $4.99 from Trevor. Appreciate that. It's going right to that Yamamoto fund. What happens to Walker Buehler and Dustin May? Walker Buehler is going to be on a pitch count, but he's going to pitch this season. I think they're very confident that he can regain some of that ace level mojo, right? If anyone can do it, it's Walker Buehler, even coming off a second Tommy John surgery, second major arm surgery. Roy Estrada, East Coast sports pundits like Chris Russo hating on the Dodgers. What I've always said is you don't hate the Dodgers, you hate the Dodgers. You hate what the Dodgers are capable of doing, and they're doing it because they're the best run organization in baseball, and they're showing it this offseason, right? Give credit to Southern California, Los Angeles, this franchise for being beloved by so many fans out there. You, the fan, you deserve credit for this too. So, look, the reality is they're doing everything within the rules. It's just they're doing it better than everyone, and people are upset about it. I mean, the Yankees, you don't see them complaining, right? I mean, they're going to be spending money too. What the Dodgers are doing, it's great for baseball. Because why? It's making the Dodgers a part of the national conversation that transcends just the sport. I mean, just look at when that happens, that's when you have a phenomenon. That's when you truly get ratings. And I guarantee if you think it's bad for baseball, then come talk to me when the Dodgers in the World Series and the ratings are double and triple and quadruple what they were last season, and people are actually tuning in, right? And college football games with Deion Sanders aren't outrating the World Series, right? You tell me then when the Dodgers are a ratings bonanza with Ohtani that it's bad for baseball. The reality is it's great for baseball because people that weren't talking about baseball yesterday are talking about it today. I'm out and about. I'm overhearing conversations. I'm hearing Ohtani this, Ohtani that, Yamamoto this, Yamamoto that. It's all because of the Los Angeles Dodgers, okay? Because would they be talking about this that much in America if you went to the Toronto Blue Jays? No. The Giants? No. The Dodgers are one of the true glamour franchises, one of the crown jewel franchises in all of sports. So it's what happens when you put iconic players on iconic franchises. And look, anyone who tells you that Ohtani being on the Dodgers is bad for baseball, haters going to hate, man. Haters are going to hate, but the reality is it's great because we're going to get him on the big stage and he's going to be competing in the postseason. That's where he should absolutely be performing. William Andrew says, Yamamotani. That's a fire take.
Fire take.
Why don't you save for Roki next year? He is asking to be posted next year at 23 years old. Wait and don't overpay for a 5'10 smallish pitcher with good stuff. Bro, man, 74 dude. Look, I'm all in on Roki Sasaki too. I mean, we talked about him last year with Jose Mota. I mean, this guy's an absolute phenom. There's no doubt about that. I will say, you talk to some scouts, and the ones that aren't as high on Yamamoto say, is he truly a number one on a World Series winning team, or is he a solid-ish one and the highest level two? I mean, sometimes there's conversations like that. Roki Sasaki, never. This guy's a phenom, right? So, I mean, it would be great to have Sasaki, but the reality is it's about 2024. It's about how quickly can you get to the next World Series title. How quickly can you take advantage of Mookie and Freddie and the rest of this core that they currently have? And then they're not in a position where you can be patient. You can't be patient anymore. They're all in. They've taken all the money out of the 401k. They push every single one of those chips in the middle of the table, and then going after it. But here we go. Sign Pedro Baez to our pitching coach. That'd be pretty cool, but I don't know. If he teaches as slow as he pitches in between, I don't know how quickly they would learn. It's not enough time for that. The fact that Ohtani is the one who said, pay me $2 million a year, just tells me he wants to win, and that's massive for me. Yeah, so some more updates on Ohtani's contract. So I don't know if you guys saw this today, but Ohtani's contract was very, very interesting, where he basically has an out in his contract where he can opt out of his $700 million contract if the controlling owner, Mr. Mark Walter, or president of baseball operations, Andrew Friedman, if they, for whatever reason, lose their role with the organization, he can leave. And that was very interesting to learn because it just tells you, one, that's why I've always believed it was always the Dodgers, because of how complicated this contract is. You mean to tell me he chose on Friday when they were probably already getting into the intricacies and details of this contract? I just don't buy that, right? I was always under the impression by a lot of people that it was the Dodgers and how confident they were internally, and this is more evidence of that. And I also believe that when you look at this deal and Andrew Friedman, one, job security. He's got to feel great about that. But two, I think this is more speaking to the previous team that he was with, Artie Moreno, right? And just the fact that they weren't able to win consistently. And I think this gives him some protection because he wants as much stability as he possibly can get. That's what he lacked with the Angels. He has complete trust in Friedman and this organization, and you can't get a bigger compliment than that when this superstar player has it in his contract that he can get out of his deal if you're not there. So Andrew Friedman, I don't care if you go George Costanza and you tie one of the World Series trophies to your car and you drive around the parking lot, you are not leaving this post, right? You are not losing your job, okay? That is the most job security that you can have. He's a Supreme Court judge at this point, right? He can keep this job as long as he wants. But here we go. If you give Yamamoto a 10-year deal, it'll only be 5 years. He's going to opt out and test the market when he starts. That's literally what I said earlier, hepatitis. See you later. And I totally agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. D-Mac will contribute his Dodgers Nation paycheck. Bring back Puig. That's from Cesar. Sign Manny Ramirez. That's from Adam818. It's about the money. New York Mets will win. Cohen will not be outbid by the Dodgers. That, to me, look, I'm not out here just boldly predicting he's going to be a Dodger. I think that you guys have said it best, that the Yankees and the Mets, I mean, think about how many times that we've included these three teams. The Mets are now an absolute juggernaut with Stephen Cohen's FU money, that these three teams are competing for the same superstar, and both of those other teams are still looking to make a big splash. New York fans aren't going to be happy after how it's gone in recent years if all you did was sign one of the best hitters of his generation in Juan Soto. They're expecting a Yamamoto-type signing. The Mets, Stephen Cohen, he's got more money than God to spend on players, right? Richest owner in the sport. So I agree. But I will also say that when you're at that level, and as Hepatitis C point out, as I've been saying for weeks, possibly months now, is I just don't think you're going to see the full length of this contract played out with Yamamoto. Is that at that point, I think if you're Yamamoto and you're looking at this as a 5-year deal possibly in your mind, I think you want to go to the best situation. And the Dodgers, from a pitching standpoint, would you really trust the Mets when it comes to player development and coaching? Yes, you have Kodai Senga there, and I'm not ruling it out. It's very possible he signs with the Mets. But you look at the Yankees, their team has a lot of talent, and they have developed a lot of solid pitching at the minor league level in recent history. But the Dodgers, you got Ohtani. You got this renowned pitching staff. The Dodgers are the team in Japan. You're on the West Coast. Los Angeles. You can get all the courtside seats that you want at Lakers games. So, look, I mean, that's a good problem to have. There's a champagne problems for Yamamoto. And, of course, you got the Giants who are absolutely desperate. Don't roll out the Giants just because they need a superstar. They need anything in the worst way. Maybe they offer them an insane amount of money as well. We got a $4.99 super chat with how much tickets are going to be this year. I'm planning on buying $900 baseline tickets, but deferring $8.99 between. There you go. That's a fire take.
Fire take.
Like I said, I'm trying to work that same deal on the jersey, man. Give me play 3% now, then 97% starting in 2034 in deferred payments. Okay, absolutely. Trade Roberts for anybody. That's from Manuel. We got, what do you think about Chris Taylor's contract? I mean, it's not the worst in the world. I mean, you're still he's back to being an average bat at the plate, and $60 million for that versatility. It's not too bad. We got D-Mac. Shout out to my pops. Don Jerry's a big Dodger fan out here in Michoacan, Mexico. Hey, shout out to your pops, my guy. D-Mac, what do you think Ohtani's opt-out turns Freeman, Walters, and Kibepe? Ohtani has all the power. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know it was going to be a very detailed contract, and that's why I am very confident. I sent another super chat. So let me focus on the super chats right now. I know you guys are blowing this up. Say it loud, D-Mac. What up, Adrian? We got Alex. D-Mac with a pen in his hand. He means, I guess, yeah, I do. When I got this pen, I'm trying to make a point. What up, Alex? Always rock with us. Any update on Kike? No updates as of today. Dodgers versus Yankees in 2024 World Series. Boys in blue win. Wouldn't that be great for baseball? Show Dodgers. That actually would be the best case scenario for Major League Baseball to have that tradition. Right? I mean, they've met 11 times in the Fall Classic. Don Kim, how you been, my guy? Even the Wall Street Journal and AP News writing articles about Dodgers and show, hey, this is good for baseball, getting more non-fans introduced to the sport. Absolutely. This is when you create phenomenons, when you combine the biggest brands with the biggest markets, and that's exactly what Ohtani is on the Dodgers. I mean, Ohtani on the Dodgers feels big. It feels right. It feels great for the game. I mean, as everyone, Yankees this, Yankees that, sure, fine. But still, look, things have changed. And the Dodgers, they're the here and the now. And I think Ohtani on this team with the current collection of stars, led by Andrew Friedman, mind you, I think this is the team of the future, team of the present and the future. D-Mac, Glasnow, and Randy for Margot, Stone, Pajes, Grove, Pep, Stone, Grover, Knack. I think you're going to add more to that package, man. I definitely think you probably want to see one of those position players in there, a Bush, a Vargas, someone in that realm. But look, Bob Nightingale was on the show, and he said that right now the Rays aren't desperate to trade Randy Arozarena. I would love to have him in Dodger blue, but until we see more concrete reporting that he's truly being shopped, of course, all teams are always listening, right? But until we learn that they're in serious talks or they're exchanging player names for Arozarena, I refuse to believe that he's going to get moved, but it's possible. But I've been told that the asking price for Rosarena is pretty astronomical at the moment based on what teams are willing to pay. So bring back Puig. We got to Sasaki next in 2025. David Sabatini, do you really like the Pepio for Glasnow, D-Mac? I think, look, David, you need to get an ace. And the reality is, yes, Glasnow, there are some cons, but that's also why you could get him at this price. I mean, I love Ryan Pepio. Ryan Pepio, any Dodger, he's definitely one that, I mean, honestly, I consider a friend. I mean, Ryan Pepio is the man. I love Ryan Pepio. I will root for this guy wherever he goes, but I also see that as a compliment. I mean, the fact that they raise, if it's true that they want Pepio, like, this is someone who could be an absolute high-end 3. He's a guy who maybe could be a number 2. He's someone that if that doesn't work out, you could see him in the bullpen at some point. And Pepio has improved a lot, and he's still young. And I think for me, it's the 5 years of team control. And of all the pitchers, too, outside of Bobby Miller, he's the one that you would love to have on this rotation in the mix next year, because you could see him eating innings there in the back end of this rotation, whereas the guys like Stone just haven't proven it yet. They haven't proven that they can handle at this level, whereas when you look at the strides that Pepio made, I mean, this guy had a sub-4 walk rate. I mean, the strides that he made with his command were outstanding, but I think that's also part of the reason why you could sell him on a high, because you look at his BABIP numbers. If you look at that strand rate, 99%, I mean, that's not sustainable. I mean, Pepio is going to come down to earth. And is he a 2.14 ERA guy, or is he more 3.5, close to 4? I think that he's somewhere in between. But at the end of the day, scared money don't make none. You got to go out there and get a starting pitcher that you believe is an ace. And you got to trust the Dodgers in this one, because the reality is that when it comes to just pure raw stuff that could play up in the postseason, if Glasnow is right, you can put his stuff up against any pitcher in Major League Baseball. When it comes to explosive fastball, that extension, 6'8", 7'5" extension. He's like he's stepping right at the plate, coming right at you. Lots of vertical break, challenges hitters. So, yes, I see people, Tyler Glasman, and pointing to the injury history. Reality is career high in starts 21, career high in innings 121. After he came back from the oblique, he was solid. And I think I trust the depth in this Dodgers organization not to have him go out there and make him throw 200 innings and give you 30-plus starts. So I don't think that will be the case. So a couple more updates. The Dodgers, they ended up re-signing Daniel Hudson to a minor league deal. So welcome back, Daniel Hudson. I love the fact that he's giving it another shot. Of course, last season, he pitched in just 3 games after returning from that torn ACL that he suffered on July 5th the previous season, when he was on his way to having his best, most effective season as a pro, really settling in there as one of the high leverage arms, a closer for the Dodgers. And unfortunately, he ends up hurting the other knee. So first it was the left knee, and then he ends up hurting the MCL, had that sprain of the MCL in his right knee after just 3 games. And it was just unfortunate. I mean, he ended up gutting that one out. If you remember the game, he ended up getting the Dodgers out of that one, gets the big strikeout, and then he ends up having some bourbon there in the Dodgers bullpen. It felt like he was going to retire, but still, I mean, if you look at what he's done with the Dodgers since returning to the organization, he's had a 1.98 ERA, a 2.14 FIP, and that's in 27 1/3 innings of work. So, look, I mean, this is someone who has had a ton of success in 2022 and 2023, 35 punchies, 8 walks. He turns 37 in March. I just hope that he definitely gives it another go. Want to see him at the big league level once again. Would like to see Ryan Brazier back, but we got Joe Kelly back. By the way, he was at the Dodgers holiday event. He looked right in 99. Look, give me some Ricky Vaughn vibes. I was just so feeling it, man. I love him in 99. Joe Kelly looks right in 99. But yeah, that's some more news. You got Daniel Hudson back, a guy who's dealt injuries throughout his career. Jeff Passan wrote a good book called The Arm. I highly recommend it. $199 from Trevor Lloyd. Appreciate you, my guy. All this money, I don't touch it. Goes right to that Yamamoto fund. We got say goodbye to the Angels this season. Again, that's from Danny Torres. Albert Pujols as manager. What's up, D-Mac? Dodgers fans from Visalia are excited. What up, Visalia, California? All about Visalia, California. It's where my grandma lives. Shout out to my grandma. Soto will want out if New York by mid-season. That's from CW. 199. How good can Imanaga be? Should the Dodgers sign him? Yeah, Imanaga has filthy stuff too. High strikeout stuff. He just gives up home runs. 30. I mean, absolutely, you could do worse than Imanaga. Imanaga is definitely a very, very talented pitcher, and there's no doubt about that. But, yeah, I did a full breakdown Imanaga, too. If you want to check out that, I can drop that. So, a couple of things we got to talk about still. I just want to do a quick update here so you guys have the latest info on everything before tomorrow, because tomorrow is a massive day. Of course, Shohei Ohtani press conference. We're going to do a Dodgers dugout live from Dodgers Stadium. You won't want to miss that. Fire the man who signed the biggest free agent in all sports. That's from Dre. What up, Dre? Offer JT the coaching job, LOL. Yeah, JT's comments are pretty interesting. Hey, D-Mac, hope you're doing well, my man. Thanks, Jacob Santos. I appreciate you, my guy. Do you think Kershaw will re-sign with the Dodgers if the Dodgers trade for Rosarena and Glasnow? That's from Cal Tickle. So, perfect segue. Let's dive into some Kershaw. Now, today, Kershaw, he was on AM 570 Sports. He did an interview with the great David Vassegh. You can follow him at @thereal_DV. And Clayton Kershaw told him that he feels great, and this is 5 weeks after having shoulder surgery, and that he said that he will be back this summer, quote, at some point. So that sounds to me like a guy who feels like he is going to pitch again, not in his career, but next year in 2024. At some point during the summer. So I feel like he's going to make a contract decision a lot sooner than people probably assumed. And it's going to be interesting to see, are the Texas Rangers going to be rumored and linked to Clayton Kershaw? Because that, to me, is kind of the big threat. The only threat, essentially. The only threat is the Texas Rangers. I've said it before, I'll say it again, that if we have to bring Dallas to LA to see Kershaw finish his career at the Dodgers, we got to find a way to make it happen, because some players, they're just meant to play with one organization. But Kershaw would go on to say, the competitor in me doesn't want it to end the way it did. I want to win a World Series. Of course, he's referring to his historically bad start there in Game 1 of the NLDS. Goes just a third of an inning, just got one out, got absolutely lit up. And you just can't see a pitcher like Clayton Kershaw end his career on that note. I just can't picture someone who is a walking statue, of first ballot Hall of Famer, where his last start is an inning of a third of an inning, records one out, gives up 6 runs, allows the home run and the walk. I just can't see that. And of course, you always wonder what would have happened. What would have happened if James Albin was able to make that play, right? If James Albin made that play, of course, Marte double to center, Carroll single to center, Moreno, he hit that home run. I mean, Kershaw was a diminished version of himself. He was a shell of himself. He did not look anything like the Clayton Kershaw that we've seen. But Kershaw said he's doing really well in his recovery. He said that about Shohei Ohtani, said it was good. It was good showmanship. That was a fun experience for me to get to do that, as far as picking off Ohtani in the All-Star game in 2022. And then he had this to say, which I think was very interesting, about the Dodgers signing Ohtani. He said, the top secret mission is over. They figured it out. It's great. Great for the Dodgers. Obviously, it's just so much money. It's crazy. But he's a unique talent, and I don't think there's anybody like him. So, of course, it just makes you feel a type of way to hear Kershaw say it's great for the Dodgers and it's not great for us. And of course, he's a free agent, so what he's supposed to say, but still, it's just, it's very sobering to hear him talk like that, as far as someone who's not in this Dodgers organization. So clearly, Kershaw could come back with this team. If Clayton Kershaw said, I'm going to pitch next season, I'm ready to pick my team, And I get this one from Bromed199 Super Chat. D-Mac, do you think Ohtani will say his dog name? Look, I'm going to be there tomorrow. Maybe we'll ask that. Hey, just give us the name. What are your guesses? What are your guesses as far as his dog's name? It was, of course, it was rumored to be one of the teams he was considering. So I'm guessing it was A's. But no, seriously, what do you think it was? I love this. I love the Hudson signing. That's from MB. Hater. We'll talk Hater tomorrow. Hudson is good. What about Brazier? Mario, I would love Brazier back. I think he might have prized himself out, though. And with the way they can find relievers, they're probably on to the next guy. But I'm curious to see what you guys have to say about his dog. We got Vin. That's from Dar BBQ. Hey, D-Mac. Dodger Dog 29.99. Yeah, absolutely. Tommy, that'd be great. Adam 818. David Hurd, I honestly didn't like Kershaw's comments. He acts like he hasn't been a Dodger for life from Dave. I didn't actually hear the interview yet, so Hideo Nomo is the dog's name. The dog's name is Mookie. That's from Alvaro. We got Raucous Rex. I got Jams. Mike Trout, Tim Salmon, and Kevin Bass in the outfield, and Catfish Hunter on the mound. What up, I got Jams? Dog's name is D-Mac. What up, David Sabatini? You're crazy. But, yeah, no, look, I mean, I got to hear what I think. Look, I have no issue with Clayton Kershaw, anything he said. I think it's very interesting because he's someone who he deserves to finish his career the way he wants to finish it. And there's certain players that when you reach the level that he has, you get to call the shots. And I know that Andrew Friedman, he respects Clayton Kershaw as much as any player that's ever put on this uniform under his tenure as Dodgers president of baseball operations. And you would just have to assume, based on everything that they've said publicly about their relationship with Kersh and just not extending the qualifying offer, giving him time to make his decision, and just the way they've handled him, you would have to assume that if he wanted to be back, they would find some way to make it happen. You know that. They just would. Because Kersh, no one's wearing 22 again. He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, and he's going to have a statue at Dodger Stadium one day. His last appearance, his last start can't be with his head down in the dugout. I hate that image. Nothing hurts me more than to see Kersh down and out in that dugout after giving up 6 runs after recording just 1 out. And yes, he was injured, and at the end of the day, the more the time that goes on, the less you'll remember the bad stuff, and you'll start to think of all the good times. But still, Kersh is not coming back to save this rotation or be a frontline starter. Even if he does, I'm sure you'll see some vintage Kersh, hopefully. But having him in this clubhouse, in that bullpen, in this organization, wherever he is, it's just... I just feel like it can't end the way it ended. Now, at the end of the day, he's going to do what's best for him and his family. I respect his decision. I truly would. Maybe he doesn't want to be a part of this, but the Rangers just won the World Series. The Dodgers are going to be favorites to win the World Series. So I assume that when he does make his decision, it's going to be between those two teams. And clearly, he wants to pitch again. So I hope he does. But a couple more here. We're going to get out of this one, guys. Watch this. We got all the news covered in this one. I think, like I said, Ohtani tomorrow, it's going to be big. Yamamoto, he's him. Want to see him in Dodger blue. I just think that a lot of competition, a lot of big markets after him. It'll be interesting. Glad to see Huddy back in the mix. Hey, D-Mac, give me a Hornitos. DKM, what up? I don't have my Hornitos tonight. Got my brother. Let's go. I guess is that his Dodger's name is Ross. Poor ass from Delirium 9. You're crazy. Dog's name is Showtime. That's from Beer Sama. Dog's name is Scully. That's from Daryl White. Realistically, if Kersh walks, we might be able to get rid of Barnes. Interesting take, that's for sure. Some manga character's name, that's from Leo. Yeah, that's what Nintendo. Ohtani's dog's D-Mac. That'd be cool, man. My dog's name, I've got to change it to Ohtani, that's for sure. His dog's name is Koufax. That's from Carlos Dodger Superhero. Dog's name is Belly. That's from Carla B. D-Mac, is there any chance Ohtani doesn't finish his contract with the Dodgers? Like if they lose their roles and he leaves 6? Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely in there. You can never say never, but I will say that there's no way, barring something very extreme and unforeseen, that the Dodgers would move off of Andrew Friedman, who has been the most influential executive in baseball when you look at his time with the Rays to what he's been doing now with this team. He just pulls off the biggest signing in baseball free agent history. So I would anticipate that. And ownership-wise, I mean, why would the Guggenheim Group move on? I mean, I just don't anticipate that at all whatsoever. I think they've got a well-oiled machine. I think they're one of the most stable organizations. They are one of the best run organizations in all of professional sports, and they're going to continue to do everything they can to put this franchise in the best position to have success. So I wouldn't fear that too much. I definitely think that it's interesting, and I think really you got to feel pretty honored, really, if you're Friedman, that the Ohtani's camp thinks that highly of you to want to make sure that that is a part of the contract. And like I said, we're going to continue to get more information about the contract and everything that comes along with it. So we got the dog's name is Dave. The dog's name is Dodger. The dog's name is Snoop. That's from Jose. We got CMAJ, Leonardo Blanco. Hey, D-Mac, should we turn the page on Blake Trinan? I mean, similar to a Daniel Hudson situation. Of course, Trinan's a guy who has talent. It just a matter of getting him healthy. If you get him healthy, he can perform for you relatively cheap, and that's what the Dodgers are looking for when it comes to bullpen pieces. We'll see about the Josh Hader situation. I think that's interesting to see LA so prominently linked to him when you consider that you haven't addressed the front of this rotation yet. So, yeah, you really got to consider some top-level, highest-paid reliever of all time when you haven't had that, whether you're trying to dip into the Cohen tax, right? So I absolutely think that with Trinan, when you consider how low risk to no risk it is, how financially minuscule it is relative to the grand scheme of things, I have no issue with it whatsoever, because the reality is, yeah, the shoulder injury, he should have gotten surgery earlier, but he decided not to rehab and get the PRP, and why not give it a shot? I mean, you're going to see his organization do that through the entire Ohtani run. They're going to continue to take flyers on reclamation projects that are looking to sign with the Dodgers at a extremely reduced rate because of what they think the Dodgers can do for them. So you're going to see the Tyler Andersons. You're going to occasionally, unfortunately, see the Cole Hamels, right? So you're going to get the good and the bad, but they're always going to keep their eyes open for those projects that they know that have potential and have high upside. Can we pay Yamamoto plus Sasaki and maybe Murakami 199? Hey man, you're getting greedy, and I love it. Of course they can, but will they? I mean, there's no limit to how much you want to spend. It just they're going to set themselves at a rate where, yes, they're going to go past the luxury tax for the 4th straight season, but at some point you got to draw the line. But yeah, anything is possible, but I don't anticipate something that extreme. Kershaw's $3 million contract will be deferred. That's $2 from John Bleeds Blue. D-Mac, heard Kershaw interview kind of sour, not giving the Dodgers anything. Also, he don't seem friendly with Ohtani. Kershaw's only player not friends with Ohtani. Bad look, bro, man, 74. Dude, it's interesting because I got to hear it myself just to give you my opinion on it. I was just reading the text from it. But, yeah, look, I mean, it's interesting. I mean, Kershaw did say that the original pitch was a waste of time, and that's just because this was back in 2017, 2018, when the Dodgers were trying to acquire Ohtani for the first time, and a lot of that had to do with the fact that he was a DH. And, you didn't have the DH at the time in the National League. So I think Kersh, like I said, I'll listen to it. I'll give you my full take on it during tomorrow's show. D-Mac, get an interview with Kersh. I'll try. Trust me. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. D-Mac, when you stopping by at BH Cheesecake, what a Ricardo Tapia. I don't know. Did you see me there at one point, Ricardo? Because I definitely have been there. Blade, D-Mac, with this contract with Ohtani, ever wonder why they didn't pull it off for the court? Look, Blade, I asked Andrew Friedman myself about this very topic, and you can go back and watch my interview with Andrew Friedman when I asked him about the narrative that they let Corey Seager walk, and basically what he told me was that it wasn't a situation where they lowballed him or anything. What impression I got was that he took that 325 with the Rangers and didn't go back to the Dodgers to see if they'd match or what they would do, or if you could get creative in trying to match that in some capacity. At the end of the day, I feel like Corey Seager wanted to be a Texas Ranger, and I don't think that they wanted to be a Dodger to the point where you wanted to go back and have some sort of back and forth, a necessary ability to make a counter offer. I just don't believe that was the case. So I put that on Seager because if he wanted to play with the Rangers, that's his free agency right? Dog's name is Blue Jay. That's from Yang Yi. That's a bro. Giants 2. Kershaw is you're crazy. Kershaw's flying to Toronto. Dream Team Dodgers. Bobby Miller, Cy Young. That'd be awesome. By the way, Bobby Miller, Yamamoto, IG friends. Kershaw will always be tops in my books. All-time Dodgers favorite. His legacy is still incredible regardless of how last season ended. Thanks, D-Mac. I could not have said it any better. Appreciate you. $6.99 from Ian Fiddler. Absolutely. And it definitely stings kind of knowing he's not a part of all this jubilation right now, but nothing can take his career away from him. And Clayton Kershaw, it makes you wonder, what if Kershaw's absolute prime years were played with Shohei Ohtani and Mookie and Freddie and Will Smith? Like, don't kid yourself. This is by far more talented of a team than that gritty 2017 Dodgers team. They definitely had a lot of talent, but nowhere near how talented we've seen the last couple of seasons with the Trey Turners and the Freddies and the Mookies of the world. This top 10 elite, top 10 level talent. Yes, you had depth, but it's a lot of timing with these World Series rings and narratives and things like that. But it gets complicated. Hey, D-Mac, did you see the rant by San Francisco Giants, Will Clark? What a jerk. I got to watch that, but I know they're not happy. You guys see Ken Rosenthal say that San Francisco has a city problem where big leaguers don't want to play in San Francisco. I mean, looks like SF stands for season finished before it even began. Dog's name is Dodger Dogs from Kathy. His dog's name is Moochie from Karen. Dog's name is Tommy. Dog's name is LeBron. That's from N-Rocks. Dodger Dog 88. Leonardo Blanco. D-Mac, what up, Dime Dropper Rock with us? Hi, this is the Clipper. How's your Clippers doing, man? Turning it around. Got my boy Russ coming off the bench. I know they're playing better after that. Man, Clippers, that new arena looks crazy. Jonah, yo, D-Mac, are you going to be at the press conference tomorrow for Ohtani? I will be there. We're going to do a Dodgers Dugout live episode at Dodgers Stadium, so definitely tune in for that. We're going to give you all the latest from the Shohei Ohtani press conference. All eyes on the baseball world will be at Dodgers Stadium. We will see Ohtani in that jersey that has set records as far as the fastest selling jersey in 48 hours, passing Lionel Messi. Like I said, I want the jersey. It's a little pricey, so I'm trying to see if I can only pay for 3% now and then defer the 97% starting in 2034. But no, I'm just playing. I already said that. But what about Kelly Jansen? Kelly update. Nothing really about Kelly's under contract. Ohtani is the Angels' leftovers. He blew out his arm. What a overpaid. Fernando, that is... Let me just take a sip of Fernando's salty tears, guys. We get it. I'd be sad, too, if I lost the best player in the game for sure, and you weren't even able to have a winning season, let alone a postseason win. Didn't even have a winning season with Ohtani. No one has done less with more than the Angels, okay? So let me sip these salty tears of this Angels fan here. Ramon says the dog's name is Andrew, Mr. / the best Dodgers pitch for new talent is if you want to win a World Series, let's go. Absolutely. Boomer Assassin. Yama makes sense. Glasnow, no bueno. It's very interesting to see some of the responses on Glasnow. It feels like it's 50-50. Some people for it, some people are against it. As a Giants fan, missed that one, but I appreciate the super chat. Let's go down here. The dog's name is Herchevek. That's a fire take. That's from Alexander Vasquez. Mr. Jimmy. You guys are hilarious. The dog's name is Andrew from Ramon. D Kim, are you guys going to keep? Yeah, exactly, right? Dog's name is Davey Mitchell Hopkins. I want to see the Woodrow signing already. Eric, the dog's name is Hideo. Wouldn't that be cool? Rangers will go back-to-back from Jesus Pinto. Well, if it happened to be the first time that we've seen it since 2000. Blue Ghost, Dodgers potential frontline pitchers. Yamamoto, Glasnow, Walker Buehler, Bobby Miller, Emmett Sheehan, Ryan Yarbrough. I think that's definitely a safe name. That's a great possibility right now. I wouldn't say a great possibility, but that would be the best case scenario right now in my book. I mean, if you could replace Glasnow with a Corbin Burns or a Cease, yeah, I could buy that. But as far as the trade chips, get one of the big trade chips available, and then Yamamoto. That's where I'm at, so I love that. Dog's name is Clayton, maybe Kobe. That's from Doc and N-Rocks. 199 from Big Game James Dodgers. Next with Glasnow with the delay. Interesting. The dog's name is Mookie. The dog's name is Puig. That's from Eric. We got Leonardo Blanco. We got Necrone 99. Rangers and D-backs ain't doing They got very lucky. There was no great competition last year. Angels fans are depressed. We got D-Mac when he going to interview the Bulldog. Noah Ortega. I got some in the works with Bulldog, so for sure. Hey, D-Mac. Awesome, man. We got... what up, DKM? Always repper. Appreciate you. Ohtani will never be the same player. That's Fernando's still upset. D-Mac, what's the deal with the Japanese players having issues with other Japanese? It's just a cultural thing, and they've kind of relaxed that. So, and the reality is the dog's name is Deferral. That's from Jersey. You guys are just killing the comments. But Ty C says, I love Kirsch, but it's time to move on. I definitely, D-Mac, come visit Visalia, a great place. Sal, absolutely. I've been to Visalia millions of times. All throughout California. This is a great state. Like, California. The Pilgrims came here first. The East Coast will be wilderness, right? Would you, as a Dodger fan, prefer to see the team sell the farm for big name trades like Cease and Roberts for Glasnow or Randy or limit the pay? I think, look, at some point you just got to have a balance of both, right? You can't completely gut the farm system, but I think that you have to be strategic about it. You have to make the moves when it's time to make them, right? You got to address certain needs, and right now they have a glaring need for starting pitching, and you can't keep all those prospects because they're not getting any younger. So it's just about balancing. So you guys know I say parades over prospects, but still I think you have to be judicious with it. No shoeys tonight from Multi-Doggy 3 p.m. Pacific time to be more specific. That's from Noah Ortega. No name. Why I feel bad for the Angels. Their owner is from Arizona, so he's probably a secret D-backs fanboy and doesn't like the Dodgers because the boys jumped the pool back in the day. That's from None. Absolutely. Dog's name is Fernando. We got a super chat here, $2. D-Mac, ask Ohtani who has the real LA MLB team. Yeah, just have him throwing shots at his former team right then and there. Cheers. Who else would you sign realistic? At least LA, okay. The Bulldog's name is Chavez. Oh, that'd be awesome. That's from Eric. I can't wait for Shohei. I love you, Fernando. All right, guys. So we're going to head out here. You guys got your... D-Mac, I'm just speaking the truth. Fernando, hey, like I said, I welcome opinions that are the opposite of mine. I don't care as long as you watch. But as long as you watch, you don't offend people. D-Mac, we got why are the Angels fans so salty? LMAO. Dog's name is 700 million. Blake Snell. Dog's name is GOAT. How do we get the lid? Working on the lid. Dog's name is Tornado. All right, yeah, you guys are just going off. Dog's name is Doug from Jesus. Say hi to Shohei for us. Y'all say hi. I'll be, hey, Shohei, man. On behalf of all the fans at Dodgers Nation, what's up, my guy? For sure. But that's going to do it, guys, for this episode. I'll read a couple more comments here. Just want to give you guys a quick little update here tonight. Make sure you're locked in just to keep you updated on the Glasnow, where we sit, and you can kind of go back and see. It doesn't feel like... Hopefully tomorrow morning, I doubt you would see, because Friedman is going to be there tomorrow. So maybe you want to delay an announcement until after the Ohtani, and then Friday maybe it picks up, or maybe tomorrow at night, maybe in the morning. But let's see what happens. But this organization, they're very buttoned up with these types of things. So 199 Glasnow extension is the small delay on the deal. Interesting. I wouldn't anticipate that. For sure. But a couple more here, guys. Randy wants to be a Dodger. Dog's name is Triumph. All right, guys. But that's going to do it, guys. So if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel. Good night, D-Mac. Love the content. CMAG. Xavier, what up? But yeah, guys, big weekend. More live streams. The channel's as big as ever, and it's all thanks to you guys. Like I said, it's your show. I'm just hosting, and this is all thanks to you. But thanks again for rocking with us here. Another late night edition of Dodgers Dugout Live. My name is Doug McCain. You can follow me on the X and Instagram at DMac_LA. If you haven't yet, Join the party. If you're subscribed, you're eligible for all of our giveaways. If you're not following me on Twitter, I'm doing giveaways over there. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Jonah. Thank you, TB12. Thank you, Diane. Thank you, Eduardo. Thank you, Gabe. So definitely follow me on Twitter because I'm doing more. Jonah working on the hats. Trust me. Do some hat giveaways and that kind of stuff. So be on the lookout for that. But that's where we're at. So definitely follow, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, comment down below. See you guys tomorrow. Remember, nothing brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. Until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.